Have you ever watched The Chosen and wondered what the actors actually believe in real life? It's easy to assume that a show so deeply rooted in Scripture must have a cast filled with devout Christians. But the truth is far more fascinating. From Catholics to Jews, Hindus to atheists, and everything in between, the cast is as spiritually diverse as the audience watching them. Take Jonathan Rumi, for instance. His portrayal of Jesus has become iconic, and it reflects his deep-rooted Catholic faith. He's spoken publicly about how surrendering his entire life, his career, finances, and goals, to God, brought him more fulfillment than he ever imagined. Jonathan often leads online prayer sessions, partners with Catholic organizations, and treats the role as a spiritual mission rather than just a job. Then there's Shahar Isaac, who plays Simon Peter. While he brings to life one of Jesus's most passionate disciples, his personal background is quite different. Raised in an Israeli Yemenite Jewish family, Shahar hasn't shared much about his current religious beliefs, but his cultural roots seem to enrich his portrayal with authenticity and depth. Noah James, who plays Andrew, also comes from a Jewish background. Though he's kept his personal beliefs private, he's mentioned how meaningful it is to play a character living in the era of the Second Temple. His respect for the culture and history brings a thoughtful layer to his performance. Paris Patel delivers one of the most emotionally layered performances as Matthew, the tax collector. Raised Hindu, he hasn't identified with a specific religion as an adult, but he's admitted that the role has sparked a curiosity in him about spirituality and faith. His personal openness mirrors Matthew's transformation from outsider to devoted follower. Giovanni Cairo, known for playing Thaddeus, has publicly identified as Catholic. He often shares scripture and faith-related posts on social media and has said the show has deepened his appreciation for the Bible and the concept of service. For him, like Jonathan, the show feels like an extension of his spiritual life. Elizabeth Tabish gives a powerful and moving performance as Mary Magdalene. Interestingly, her spiritual journey has taken a non-traditional path. She identifies as a Christian today but previously left the faith, only to find her way back through art and storytelling. She once shared that The Chosen reintroduced her to Jesus, not as a doctrine, but as someone who sees the broken and calls them beloved. Vanessa Benavente, who plays the Virgin Mary, doesn't identify with any religion, and many speculate she may even be an atheist. Still, she brings raw emotion and truth to her role, saying that a mother's love for her son is something deeply universal, transcending belief systems. David Amito, who portrays the intense John the Baptist, also doesn't hold Christian beliefs. He said so explicitly, yet his powerful performance speaks volumes about his commitment to the role. The contrast between his personal views and the character's fervent faith adds a fascinating layer to his work. Lara Silva, who plays Eden, Simon Peter's wife, is an openly practicing Christian. She's described her involvement in The Chosen as more than just a job. It's a form of ministry. She's spoken about how the cast prays together and supports one another spiritually both on and off camera. Shaan Sharma, the actor behind the strict Pharisee Shmuel, doesn't adhere to traditional Christianity, but he's shared that he values Christ's teachings, particularly those on love, truth, and forgiveness. His character often wrestles with legalism, which seems to reflect his own questions about faith and organized religion. Nick Shakoour, who plays Zebedee, has expressed belief in God, although he hasn't clearly defined his denomination. He once said that working on The Chosen feels like walking on sacred ground, and that each day on set brings him closer to his faith. Elijah Alexander, who portrays the Roman magistrate Atticus, keeps his spiritual beliefs private, but he has been described as a spiritual person and a believer in interviews. Though his exact views remain unclear, his performance is marked by quiet strength and inner conviction. Raza Jaffrey, another actor from the cast, hasn't publicly discussed his beliefs either. Based on his name and background, some speculate that he may come from a Muslim heritage, though nothing has been confirmed. Despite the mystery, he brings a thoughtful presence to his scenes. Eric Averi, who brought depth to the role of Nicodemus in Season 1, was born into a Parsi Zoroastrian family in India. Though he hasn't spoken much about his current faith, it's evident that his unique background lent gravitas to his portrayal of a deeply conflicted religious leader. And finally, there's Luke Dimyon, who plays Judas. His background lies in Coptic Orthodoxy, one of the oldest branches of Christianity. Despite playing one of the most infamous figures in the Bible, he brings humanity and vulnerability to the role. So while the cast of The Chosen might come from different walks of life, faiths, and philosophies, what unites them is their commitment to telling this story with sincerity, heart, and truth. And maybe that's what makes their performances so powerful. Because belief isn't always about labels, it's about connection, and every one of them brings that to the screen.